Welcome back guys, girls from Evo Project again, and today I'm bringing you my build, the Hunter. Been helped with and alongside Nile himself as an adaptation of his build. This build is a stamina Nightblade build. Right, let's get into the gear. So the build runs 5-piece Archer's Mind and 5-piece Marksman and 1-piece Molokina or Valadreth, doesn't matter which, whatever takes your fancy. Right. So the thing is, the important thing about it is you need 5-piece Marksman or Archman, as I said. Just make sure your bow's gold. You don't need a gold on the 2H. The 2H is for buffs, so it can be whatever. You don't even attack with it. It's not even part of the build. The jewelry set can be whatever you get. Marksman's pretty cheap. Archer's Mind isn't, if you can even find it. You'd be lucky if you could find it. Weapon damage on all of it. And stamina. Archer's Mind, everything. Divines, all stamina again to hit the hardest numbers. I like to put the Crusher enchantment. It doesn't really matter because you're gonna one hit, maybe two. So whatever you've got on there, you probably won't feel the effects on the target anyway. The food I run tri-stat, purely because of the going into cloak. Even though max health and stam does work, you just can't cloak as much. Pots doesn't really matter, whatever you can get your hands on stamina wise. It's just to replenish your health, you don't use it to buff or anything. Replenish your stamina, sorry. Right. All your attribute points into stamina. Vampirism does help. Definitely worth getting Vampirism. You don't have to run Vampirism, but it just gives you that more recovery. And running in Sneak, you ignore the movement penalty. I run the Shadow. You can run Hawkeye instead of Archer's Mind. If that's the case, I would probably change the Shadow to weapon damage. It doesn't matter actually, you can use weapon damage or the Shadow. All your strikes are crits, so depending, if you know you're going to be running and you're ganking people with heavy armor, I would, with Impen on, I'd probably go for weapon damage. Because you'll hit a more constant flat rate. As you can see, I am slightly buffed in the server for the stats, but we don't have Emp. It's just beginning of new campaign. These are the stats with food, without any sort of buff. If I buff up, stick your buffs on. Without Mage Light, the Mage's Guild, 3k, 61. My snipes hit, are sort of ranging between 12k and 24k. Sort of in that range, so you can go from a 2-hit snipe to a 1-hit. I tend to, if the opponent is running fast, hit 2 snipes. If they're standing still, a snipe and a poison inject with a heavy attack will do it. The tick will kill them. If they got like 40k, 30k plus health, I would snipe, poison inject, heavy attack. That would generally kill them. And that's going against the crit. There is the few really tanky builds that this can't one hit. They're people running full impen, full hardy, you know, all that sort of stuff. Right, into the skills, and these are the important sort of bits. So really, your front bar is the most important. So poison injection deals quite a lot. Obviously, focused aim. Don't run lethal arrow. Lethal arrow pulls you out of sneak. So you want to run focused aim. Just means that your second arrow coming in is going to hit harder anyway if you do end up having a 2-hit. The buffs on this bar are Camouflage Hunter for the extra crit and increased crit damage. Now this is while slotted. I wouldn't cast this if you're going to be fighting non-undead. Otherwise, if you're using undead, skill tracker comes into play. So cast Camouflage Hunter. You might find if you're taking on a few people one after the other, you might find that your stamina runs out if you keep casting Camouflage Hunter. So only sort of use it if you need to. Your other buff is Relentless Focus for the increased damage done and increase your stam recovery. Also, you do get the Spectral Bow at the end if you really want to proc that. If you're sort of fighting a few people, give that extra boost. You'd be running Shadowy Disguise for the always making sure that your next attack is a crit strike. That's crucial to the build. Absolutely must have for ganking. And I'm running Incap on the front for the extra crit. For each ability slotted. Ideally, you want to be running Dawnbreaker Flawless, the one that gives you increased weapon damage. That increased hit, because the crit does the damage you get from that is more than what the crit. You don't want increased crit percentage, pretty much. So that's only for when you're out of sneak, which you shouldn't do because you don't hit high numbers. On the back bar, now the rapid movers, that this is a free slot. You can put whatever you want here. It doesn't really matter. I run rapid removers to get away from the fight quicker. Obviously, it's a big magicka dump. You could run Trap Beast here. Not going to make a massive difference. Could run Misform. There's not really. Could run Evasion. There's not really. If you ran Evasion, you could 1vx or 1v1 with this build. A lot easier if you ran Evasion, but it's not advisable. You could run Scattershot as another heal, but Scattershot's got really close range. Bombard again for a snare. Yeah, there's not really anything. Summon Shade possibly. Blur, you could probably run Blur. I'd probably be inclined to run Blur. Or Killer's Blade on this bar as an execute. Right, second, and this is really crucial as well. I don't have level 10 in the Mage Guild yet, but this really makes you hit hard. You get the Empower for the Mage Light. Radiant Mage Light, absolutely, because you get reduced damage when being attacked, and it prevents stun as well. Also, it's a way to pull Nightblades out of sneak. Your next ability, you don't really want to use this because this sort of tells people that you're there, but if you're going to be fighting lots of people, I'd run Reaper's Mark. When your target dies, it heals you for the health, and you gain Major Berserk, increasing your damage done by 25%. So if you've got a chain of coming in, it might be worth lobbing Reaper's Mark down if you know that. I would snipe while your arrow's travelling in the air, Reaper Mark them just as the snipe's about to hit the target. You'll get that buff then, ready for the follow-up on the next snipe. That's another open slot as well, so you could put Killer's Blade there, Lotus Fan if you want to. You know, there's no sort of preference to what you place there. Then you want your heal, which again, as I said, is another open slot. This bar really is completely open. The only two abilities that you really need on here is Rally and Radiant. So you've got Resolving Vigor, and then Radiant, and then Warhorn on the back. Could be anything. Warhorn pulls you out of sync when you cast it anyway, so as again, it could be whatever. You could put Batstorm on here, you could put Dawnbreaker on here, you could put Meteor on here, Barrier, you know, there's no set. When the new update comes out, I would run the two-hander ultimate on the back bar and Dawnbreaker on the front. Yeah, or run Dawnbreaker on the front and Incap on the back. It's entirely up to you. Right, the champion points. So 75 into reduced cost, 50 into recovery, 52 onto tumbling. Now, the reason I do into tumbling, it gives you more dodge. You could dodge more, roll more. So when you've launched your arrows, dodge roll and cast Dark Cloak will stop any sort of projectile coming at you, knocking you out, because Sneak is broken at the moment and doesn't work properly. In the mage, 73 into the precise strikes, 14 into piercing, 90 into mighty. I might take 10 out of mighty and put it into precise strikes, but I'm not sure. But this seems pretty balanced. I wouldn't go for it any more into anywhere else. This seems to be the best. 37 into resistant, 50 into hardy, 50 into elemental, 20 into thick skin, 20 into a quick recovery. This is pretty balanced. It is set up for ultimate. The top, when the update comes out, I would probably put, unless they up the cost of stamina, if they do that, put the next load of champion points into Warlord. If not, put them all into tumbling. In this one, I'd put the new champion points into precise strikes, and in here, I'd put the rest into resistant. So yeah, we can quickly, let's see if we can find something to gank quickly. I know we have quite a bit of the map at the moment in here. I don't want to make this video too long. Oh yeah, the reason you use these sets as well, use the marksman for the increased bow damage against players and the reduced cost of stamina, and Archer's Mind use because you get increased crit damage normally, and then increased crit damage on top, so you actually get 15% increased crit damage on this set, which actually even against Impen hits harder. Done tests, actually hits harder. Awesome connection. Right, let's go. Let's go up there. If any of you guys are in on Xbox One EU and want to come ganking, you know, want to do group fights, I've got a mate at the moment who's trying to take Emperor and Azure Star. You know, just hit us up. Gars, if you're in the Forbidden Covenant, if you're in Trials and Trebs, you know, these are the guilds I'm in. If you want any build advice, anything, you know, just say. And I'm more than happy to help. You know, if you want tips, pointers, crafting. Between three of us, we're all master crafters. Oh look, lovely Zergy reds. To be honest, everyone Zergs, don't they? Don't know why we act annoyed. Right, here we go. So there's our target there. He is fighting somebody. Just launched 2 snipes in there. Dead. There we go. So the second one wasn't even... The second one didn't come in. And, you know, bear in mind, everyone's running Impen at the moment. So, you know, We'll see here. Let's see here. Here we go. It's because we can get Spoonge. Yeah, see it up. For some reason I went out of sneak there. But let's try this. Let's see what we can get here. See there, 11k. You know, I'm hitting some of Red's best players here. 12k's on them. There you go, won it. There you go, guys. I know he didn't have brilliantly high health. Probably doesn't want to be running around in PvP like that. And probably will look at changing that now. There we go, 10k on him. Didn't even mean to shoot him. So yeah, guys, you get the idea anyway that it's quite easy. Let's see if I can. Spooge is up here. There is fucking. There was some bullshit right there. You just witnessed it there. There we go. Another one down. So it's yeah. You can 1vx with this build. You know, it's all about making distance between you and the enemy. Because at the end of the day, you have got heavy attack, poison injection, and snipe. They are your only attacks on this build. You can heavy attack the sword. But yeah, so right, everyone. That is my hunter build. Hope you enjoyed it. Look forward to seeing your videos. You know, send them to Xbox or email them to or tag them. You know, drop them in the video description, comments. You know, and comment on me comment on my videos. Tell me, you know, what builds you want to see, and I'll make them. I mean, I've got a character of every build, so if you guys want to see a build, just message me or write in the comments. Well, anyway, guys, the scars from the Evo project, and I'll see you next time.